I'm Amy of Handmaiden, and this is my monthly podcast where I update you on what I've been creating in this past month and also anything that's new over on Handmaiden, what's on the website. So I'm coming to you from the South Island of New Zealand, quite far down the bottom of the South Island in Southland. Today I'll start with what I'm wearing, and got an oldie but a goodie, my Autumn League pullover. I always link in the show notes the patterns and ravelry details so you can go and check them out in more detail afterwards. But this was knit up in some yarn hand dyed by Heather Ware. The highlight for today though is my shawl love from the 45th parallel. This is designed by Diana of Perfectly Imperfect Twists. Again, I'll link all the details below so you can go check it out. Diana and I have done a wee bit of a collaboration. So I dyed the yarn, Diana wrote the pattern, and the idea was for the festival 45 Fibre that I organise here in Southland. You had a couple of months to knit it and then wear it along to the festival in May. And Diana has a gorgeous bag that she's giving away that you can basically go in to win the beautiful bag if you come along to festival wearing your shawl. And I'd love to, everyone that wears their shawl, to try and get a group photo of us all in our shawls. So it is a shawl with, like, you can see these bits, but I've tucked mine under and I'm wearing a bit more like a bandana today. It is has a garter tab cast on. That's how your shawl kind of starts, which is one of my favourite starts, I reckon, for a shawl. Nice, looks lovely. And then some nice garter stitch that you kind of get into the rhythm of doing these garter and stockinette stripes, and then towards the end go into some mosaic knitting. And the pattern is super effective and fun with the self-striping yarn that I've dyed. Don't be put off by the mosaic knitting. I find it a bit more straightforward than colour work, because you're not actually working with two colours and carrying a yarn in behind. Like, you just slip the stitches. So I encourage you to have a go. Don't be put off by the beautiful bit of mosaic here. I went a wee bit rogue and freestyled this, but you could, depending on how much yarn you have left, you could do different stripes so you don't have to finish in a picot edge. Again, if you went and checked out the pattern in the links below, Diana has done a couple of versions of the shawl in different colours and different bind-offs. The possibilities are endless. You just need to make it your own. So maybe I just go straight into the kits that I made up for this shawl while we're talking about it. The colourway I have got on and knitted is called Mosaic Me. To me, it was slightly more traditional colours, and the yarn, that white, is undyed. This is what it looks like in the shawl kit, Mosaic Me. And each of the wee sets have a super gorgeous little heart-shaped map of the world, wee stitch marker. So the other colours are Into the Forest. So you could go as high or low contrast as you like, or even if you have already got one of my self-striping gobstopper balls, or maybe someone else's self-striping, you use that for your main colour, the 100 grams, and then you just need 50 grams of however low or high contrast you want to go with your self-striping yarn. So you could probably find 50 grams of a more solid colour in stash. Into the Forest. Again, super cute wee marker. And then there is this one. This colourway is Into the Pink, and I dyed that colourway up last year for a breast cancer fundraiser, and that is the gobstopper that Diana used to do one of her samples, and then she used a beautiful purpley pink 50-gram skein that she had in her shop. So I've dyed up a navy to go with that all in pink colourway. So yes, you could use a gobstopper, or I've just skeined them because it takes slightly less time for me than rolling it into a beautiful ball for you. All in pink and navy. And then this was just an example of, this is this colourway, but it's in a gobstopper ball. So it shows off the colours quite differently, but when it's skeined up, that's it there. Other colourway, Fire and Charcoal. I'm trying to think what I named this one. Fire and Charcoal. More of a like blue, grey, charcoaly colour, and beautiful oranges through to red. Like I thought of fiery flames. That one would be super effective, I reckon. Contrast beautiful. Another wee stitch stopper. And again, just to show you the fiery flamey colours, that is it in a gobstopper ball. So shows those colours off a wee bit better. Yeah, go and have a look at those kits. And if you didn't want to make a shawl, these would also make a good couple of pairs of socks. Like if I add a couple of minis to a gobstopper ball and use the minis to do like toes and heels, I can get a couple of pairs of socks out of a gobstopper. So if you weren't going to make a shawl but you still love the colorways, you could definitely you'd get a good couple of pairs of socks if you used your 50-gram for your toes and heels, even your cuff. Yeah, so that's an alternative use for them. They don't have to be a shawl. Lovely. Yes, so please knit along with us, come to festival and show off your shawl. It'll be super fun to all come together. There is a knit along like on the forum in Ravelry as well. I'll link that below. So if you were chatty and wanted to share on Ravelry about it, or you can just share a picture of what you're making on social media and just tag it. Yeah, 45 love cowl. I think that's what we're using. But again, I'll put the proper details down below. Right, enough about this lovely shawl. On my needles I have 4 things on my needles at the moment, which is not the usual for me. I feel like I'm quite a one project person normally, but I have cast on a few things in this past month since talking to you. So obviously still working on my Lullaby blanket. Lullaby. Love it. It's big enough now that it keeps my lap warm when I'm knitting it, which is quite nice as it's cooling down south at the moment. I have, this is colour number 21. So I'm almost finished the second repeat of all of the colours. And my plan is to do a third repeat of all those colours. So to go through the 25 3 times. And then it should be long enough to be an awesome blanket. Yes, it's coming along. It's gorgeous. I do love this, whatever this yarn is that Amelia dyed. It is deliciously soft. It's nice to knit and work. Lullaby blanket by Petite Knit. No. Tincanknits. Cool. And what else has happened? Oh, this happened. Cast it on, finished it. Yeah, so that was a make from this past month. And then I have recently cast on Ovis. This is Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. Amazing pattern. I don't know if you've been watching my podcast for a wee bit, you'll remember that I knitted a blanket from a kit from Outlaw Yarn, and it had a very similar colourway and sheep pattern on this blanket. And so when I saw this sweater released, I was like, oh my gosh, need to add that to my make list. So far, I've recently joined in the round. This is the back, front. Yes, so I'm going around and around now, around the body. The back looks way better on the pattern. There you go. Yeah, so around the body. I'd really like to be able to wear this to festival in May. Watch this space. Maybe it'll be a vest. But I think it is much more effective when you've done all the sleeves as well. Fun. I'm doing Outlaw yarn again. So the same yarn that I used for that blanket. Yeah. And then I've held a strand of mohair. I don't know if you can see, there's a wee bit of fuzzy. A strand of mohair with that original sin, that light natural colour. Just because I wanted my sheep to look fleecy, fluffy. Yeah. Happy with that. Ovis. And then other cast on is another, I'm going to say a shawl, but it's actually like a bandana cowl. The Starfall, it's called Starfall by Michele. And it is a bandana cowl. So it's going to have quite a similar look to this one, like a wee pointy bandana kind of shape. And it's actually, I've cast on in the round, so it's not going to have like wrapping arms or anything like this. It's just going to be pop over your head and sit in place. It is knitted in a colour pooling yarn, so every time you come to the wee pop of colour in the skein, you do a special little stitch, and in this case it's a star stitch. Again, in an earlier podcast I did a rosebud shawl that Diana, again Perfectly Imperfect Twists, had designed, and it was grey, and then every time you got to the pop of pink you did like a little rosebud stitch. So similar idea, the assigned pooling yarns. In the weekend, me and my friend had a play with dyeing up our own colour pooling, especially for, well, mine was especially for this pattern. I'll show you how it's looking. It's still early days, like there's not too much knitting to show you, but after the skein had dried, I was just too excited to cast on and see if it's actually going to work for the pattern. So I didn't even take a photo of the skein, like dyed, but it sure looked beautiful. Here is my cast on, and you can just see the little star stitches forming here. And the idea is every time I get to that pinky bit in the yarn, here's another one, I'll do a little star stitch. Watch this space, it's definitely fun. I'm thinking this might be my train knitting for this weekend, like just a wee small project to take. So, Handmaiden, March's birthstone is Aquamarine. So it was beautiful turquoisey blues that I dyed up for Yarn and Fibre Club. Beautiful yarn is all out into the world, but I have got some fluff here for you. There's a wee bit of fluff here too. And they will be on the website now also if you'd like some more blue fluff, or if you're not in the Fibre Club, go grab some fluff. Here is the little, I'm trying to show you the little stitch stopper. This is a wee aquamarine, so it's kind of where the inspiration came from for dyeing the fluff. It's dyed up on Anna Grattan's sock blend, so her beautiful Corridale and nylon in there to give it a bit of strength if you wanted to spin yarn for your own socks. Yeah, very happy with that. Oh, and I've dyed it to do a fade. I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually 3 different blues. So if you spun it end to end, you'd get a nice shift through the 3 different blue colours. So potentially would stripe when you knitted it into socks. Yeah, lovely. As usual, Anna Grattan's fibre is pretty lovely. Yeah, super lush. Aquamarine. Cool. Don't know if there's not much else on the website. just the shawl kits that you could also use for socks as well if you wanted that self-striping. There is a sneaky D-stash going on the website. I went through a few of my things. Yeah, while they're all beautiful in my own personal collection, some things I just don't reach for, and I wanted to make space. So there's a few special things in the D-stash. I've created a D-stash part on the website. Go and have a wee sneaky peek. I'm not going to show you on here. Yeah, apart from that, I'm busy organising the festival, like Southland's Wool and Craft Festival for May. If you're down this way or you feel like coming down south, come to Gore. This is a festival poster that's going up everywhere, and it's on as many places I could post it on the social media and stuff. Heaps of kids crafts. These are all free for the children because we want to encourage the next generation of crafters and inspire everyone, and free entry through to the festival to the Traders Hall as well. Come, spread the word, share the flyers if you see them on social, and tell all your friends. Yeah, apart from that, this weekend the Crofters Yarn train trip is happening. I will be there. I'm looking forward to the train trip and going through to Oamaru, and yeah, look forward to seeing some of you there. So thanks for watching this month. Feel free to ask any questions down below, and I'll try and link all the details in the video for you. Thanks again. See ya.